So therefore we may be wondering to ourselves, when can one perform meditation correctly? And the answer to this is only when fear has gone away from our mind. And this is the word that we see in the first line. It's the last word, vigatabhir. So Guruji is giving an example of when he was once at a question and answer session, and he was talking to people about religion. And this is quite interesting, because I've just come back from India, and I sense this myself, that a lot of people do things, it's not just in India, also here, because they fear what the outcome might be. And a lot of religious people, or people that follow religion, perhaps do it because they fear a particular outcome if they don't fulfill those religious actions. So, for example, Guruji gave the example of someone that he knew who got married, and that person used to do Mara every single day. And then on the one day that he didn't do the Mara, which is after his wedding day, he said that he went traveling, or he went on his honeymoon, and his ankle got twisted. And he believed that it was because he didn't do his Mara that day. And Guruji says that, people feel that if they don't do something religious, then basically what will happen is something bad will happen to them. And because they've been doing this particular action all their lives, then they think, well, what will happen? But what he's asking us to do is to flip that on its head and to say, we shouldn't have fear, because true devotion can only take place when there isn't fear. So when you love God, you're not afraid of him, because you're not able to combine love where you fear someone. And this is also in real life as well. People study this with their parents. What's more important? Should you have a fearful relationship with them, or should you have love for them? And true devotion can only take place where there's love. So in the same way, Guruji says that one can only perform meditation on that which he actually loves. So one can automatically concentrate on something that you love. Nobody has to tell him to do something like this. This is also in your personal lives. One can also never love somebody that they fear. If I'm scared of you, I can't love you. And if you're scared of me, then you can never love me. Love and fear never work together, and they can't live together. Therefore, one's fear of God should go away. Guruji says that today most of our devotion and penances are as a result of fear. And this is the support that people use because they're afraid. But actually what we should have is love for God, not a fear for God. You should enjoy doing God's work, and enjoy performing the devotion, and enjoy performing the penances, and that's why you should do them. But if you don't do them, you should feel a sense of incompleteness inside, not a sense of fear, and that's why you should do these things. So then your next question may be, well, when can fear go away? And all of this will come to the same point that we've actually discussed previously in the Gita. So the sentence in Sanskrit is Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is performing actions without desires. And we've discussed this previously in the Gita, that one should do things without thinking about the fruit of that action, or without having a desire of that action. So until one has desires, then he can't be free from fear. And this is actually because at the root of fear is desire and expectation. So if you don't have any expectation, then fear will actually go away by itself. And if one doesn't want anything, then where can the fear of that thing come from? It just can't. Therefore, Sri Krishna says in this verse that one should also be prashant. So the meaning of prashant is to be serene. This is the person whose interior has become calm. And also at the same time, if we look at the last line, the word yukta is said here. And this is a word that will come up frequently. And yuktaha is alert. And another word that we see is mana sayamya, which is to be subdued in the mind. So these are three things that we should try to be: serene, alert, and also subdued in the mind. So these are three qualities that we should think about. And Sri Krishna says very clearly here that one who can do this can control their mind. He also says, therefore, that a yogi should sit harmonized with his mind attuned to him. So attuned to Sri Krishna and intent on him alone, with a feeling of nishkam, which is no desires. So when a person does this, then the next verse will go on to describe what actually happens. So this is verse